First is the administration of the initial screening or the group screening test. Unang step yon. And how do we judge if a child will still undergo the PhilErie or exempted na siya? If the raw score in the group screening test is 0 to 7 points, he should take the PhilErie test, which is 3 levels lower than his or her grade level. So kung grade 6 siya, ang ibibigay muna nating PhilErie selection ay grade 3. Diba? Kasi talagang kahit na hindi mo pa i-test, frustration level na talaga siya kung grade 6 material ang ibibigay. If the score is 8 to 13 points, take the PhilErie test, which is 2 levels lower than his or her grade level. And if the score is 14 or above, there's no need to undergo the PhilErie test. Sila yung they are already reading at level. So, wag na silang bigyan ng group screening test because the initial screening allows the teacher to focus more on the students with reading difficulties. Reaction? Sabi nyo, ay hindi, dapat lahat. Yes, sir.
At least 3 level down, believing that there are grade 2 pupils who can be at the level of kinder in terms sa reading level nila. How about those good ones? Like a grade 2 can be at the level of grade 4 or grade 5 or grade 6 because they are those who are supported by many resources and technologies at home. So pag hindi natin sila binigyan and we presume that they are the level of grade 2, parang boring sa kanila probably yung mga activities that are given by the teachers. So probably if we do some intervention for those who are below their grade level, we can do some enrichment also for those who are advanced.
Okay, may point yan si sir. Kasi sa group screening test, makikita na natin, yung batang ito, ang galing pala. Maning-mani, yan yung grade 4 na test. So, another, intervention for those children who are reading above the grade level. So, that's something to think about. Pero, for purposes of PhilErie, hindi na sila bibigyan ng, or hindi na mag-undergo ng PhilErie test. But, the teacher also should see to it na hahanap siya ng selections na mas advanced. Okay. Mas challenging.
I understand that in our new crafted PhilErie tool, we are going to administer it and conduct the group screening test. So there are gonna be guidelines on this as to the how many of these students will pass this cut-offs performance. Okay.
Ayun. Of course, meron pa din diyang tanong. Paano kung nakatsamba lang ang bata kasi multiple choice test? So, ang classroom teacher would try to gauge kung ito ba talagang tama yung score niyang to or marunong lang siyang mag-take ng multiple choice test. Okay. So, yon. But the purpose of the group screening test is to lessen the number of pupils in the class who will be administered the oral reading. So kung may 50 pupils in class, 30 reading at level na, 20 na lang ang bibigyan ng PhilErie oral reading test. So malaki ng alwan sa teacher yon, di ba? 20 na lang ang no. At siguro naman, hindi na dadayain ng teacher yon kasi 20 na lang. Kayang-kaya niya na. Hindi na siya pwedeng ito, ma'am, 10 ito. Tumawa talaga ako nang sabihin ng teacher, very frank siya. Sabi niya, Teacher Feli, basta hindi mo sasabihin sa DepEd, ha? Ito, 10 bata, alam kong para-pareho naman ang level nila. Isa na lang ang ititest ko doon. Record na yan para sa 10. Ma'am, hindi lang isa ang nagsabi sa akin yan, ha? So, yun talaga ang nangyayari sa field. Kasi minamadali nyo na dapat may report na eh. Hindi pa tapos. Di ba? May deadline kayo, ma'am, pag-submit sa office ng results. Okay. Tapos may deadline din ng central office. So, kaya minamadali niyo ang teacher. So, ano naman gagawin ng teacher na hindi lang niya talaga matapos-tapos dahil talagang nagtuturo siya ng husto? Didadayain niya na lang. Okay, stage 2. For those children whose readability level is lower than the expectation of the grade level, they are given the oral reading test. The purpose is to identify the student's miscues in oral reading. Ano ba ang difficulty niya sa oral reading? Ano bang miscues niya? To record the number of words that a student reads per minute, and to find out how well a student understands the passage read. Itong identifying the student's miscues, kasi ginagawa ko to sa assessment class ko, pero inaaral namin kung paano mag-record ng miscues, at gagawin natin yan mamaya. Tapos nag-i-invite talaga ko ng bata na nagbabasa sa klase. Usually, ma-identify mong ang miscues, may patterns. Ano ang mahirap sa K-2 children? Talagang naggagano ng bata kasi yung palang mga sa English, mga words na nag-e-end sa ED, hirap ang bata. Mother called the boy and told the boy, did you help your brother? Yes, I helped my brother. So kita mo na kaagad na may pattern. Itong batang ito, hindi nababasa ang words na nag-i-end sa ED. Kasi mahirap nga naman mag-generalize kailan nag-i-end sa sound T, kailan nagsa-sound na D, kailan ang ED. So, anong intervention dyan ng teacher? Magkakaroon siya ng drill on the past tense form of regular verbs and saan ba dyan ang nag-e-end sa sound T, D, and Ed. So, meron kaagad. Isa pang nahihirapan sila, yung may mga contractions. Can't, won't, shouldn't, couldn't, wouldn't. So, every year pag nagagawa kami niya, nakakakita kami ng pattern sa reader. Ito ang kanyang problema sa word recognition. So, makikita yan ng teacher pag nagpapabasa siya at pwedeng gawin niya na classroom lesson. Bukas ililesson ko reading words that end in ED. Or bukas ang lesson ko words that, the contractions para makorek yun. So, you identify the miscues. You record the number of words that a student can read per minute and how well a student understands a passage read. So, yun yung tatlong objectives ng oral reading. Ang tawag natin hindi error, kundi miscues. And it is defined by Goodman as a deviation or difference between what a reader says and the word in the page. Called ang basa nito, pero ang basa niya ay called. That's a miscue. Ang basa nito ay dapat ay suggest, pero sabi niya suggest. That's a miscue. Okay. Pag-aralan natin ang iba't ibang miscue kasi mamaya magmi-miscue analysis tayo. Here are the common miscues of readers. Mispronunciation, omission, substitution, insertion, repetition, reversal, omission of punctuation, and hesitation. Okay. So, I'll define each one and I'll also show how the teacher could record or could mark the miscue. Okay. Mispronunciation. Meron po kayong, pinaprint ko tong part na to para mamaya may kopya kayo habang nagmi-miscue analysis. Mispronunciation, when a word or words is not pronounced or read properly. Maybe if it's an English word, the pupil reads it phonetically. Kung ano yung baybay, siya yung bigkas niya, kahit na English word. So ito yung sinasabi ko. The text is, the children played in the yard. The child read it as, the children played in the yard. So, what are you going, or what will the teacher do to record? Or how will the teacher record that miscue? Underline the text and write the phonetic spelling above it. Gets nyo, ma'am? So, kasi may mga naka-video talagang batang nagbabasa. Okay. So, underline the word that was not read properly, and above the word, write the phonetic spelling. Kung paano binasa ng bata. We call that mispronunciation. Omission. Omission when a word or words are omitted. Pag hindi masyadong nakikinig ang teacher, ang mahirap na word, mahirap na basahin, ino-omit niya. Okay. For example, ang word, Tony saw an enormous elephant in the zoo. Mahirap basahin ng enormous, kaya sabi ng reader, Tony saw an elephant in the zoo. Lumampas po, dapat nandyan yung bilog sa enormous. Circle the omitted word. So, kasi may hawak na babasahin ang reader, at ang hawak niyang babasahin, ang font is according to his grade level or the readability level of the material. May hawak ding selection or passage ang teacher. So the teacher will encircle the omitted word. Substitution, when one word is substituted for another. Ito yung example ko kahapon. The big horse started to trot. Ang basa ng reader, the big house started to trot. So, write the word read directly above the correct word. Okay. So, ang basa niya sa horse house, ilagay mo sa ibabaw. Insertion. When a word or words are inserted. Okay. His big sister is in school. Ang basa ng reader, his big sister is in the school. Common nilalagyan ng bata ng the. Diba? How are you going to record? Indicate it with a caret at the point of intersection, and the word is written above the caret. Okay, the is written there. Okay. Repetition. When a word or phrase is repeated. Bakit inuulit ng bata? In the. Alam mo kung bakit niya inuulit? She's buying time. Mahirap ang next word, so inuulit niya muna ang phrase to give him time to analyze the next word. Okay. For example, the text is, the red roses are in the lovely vase. Ang basa niya, the red roses are in the, para to give him time to analyze the next word, lovely. So, draw a line from the point at which the reader decides to retrace his steps to the point the repetition begins. So, pareho mo i-underline yung dalawang ni-repeat na in the. Reversal. When two words are reversed. For example, the text is, the gardener is working in his vegetable garden. The child read it as, the gardener is working in his garden vegetable. Okay. Use a proofreader's symbol for transposition. Okay. Ayon, very common to. Parang trend magbasa ang bata. Hindi nakikita ang mga period, di ba? Omission of punctuation. Punctuations are not given attention. And usually, pag hindi huminto sa punctuation, hindi naiintindihan ang binasa, di ba? So, for example, the text is, the teacher greeted the pupils. Then she told them to sit down. Ang sabi ng reader, the teacher greeted the pupils, then she told them to sit down. Walang period, okay? The punctuation mark is circled. So you have the teacher greeted the pupils, si-circlean niya yung na-omit na punctuation, then she told them to sit down. Okay. May tanong po sa mga, mga miscues ng bata? How are you going to score? Mispronunciation? You count as one error every mispronunciation. So, bibilangin mo. Kung 3 beses nag-appear ang played at 3 beses niya sinabing played, 3 errors. Count as one error every mispronunciation. Omission, you count also as one error, a word or phrase that is omitted. Kung isang phrase ang na-omit, isang count pa rin yun. Substitution, count also as one error every substitution. Insertion, ganon din. If he inserts a word or a phrase, every word or phrase that is inserted is counted as one. Repetition, kung inulit niyang ilang beses yung in the count as one, every repetition. Reversal, one error, every reversal made. Hesitation, count as one error. Ay, hindi yan every reversal, every hesitation made. Okay. So, yun yung quantitative analysis. Mamayang hapon, i-review ulit natin yan bago tayo mag-miscue analysis. Anong time ba? Okay, 11:56, 4 minutes pa bago mag-lunch. Quantitative analysis of the oral reading test. Okay. You count how many miscues were observed and what are these miscues. You count the number of miscues for purposes of the quantitative analysis. But if you want to analyze qualitatively, ano bang klaseng miscue ang palagi niyang nakocommit? So that when the teacher gives the intervention, he or she knows exactly ano bang problema ng batang ito, ano ba ang palagi niyang miscue? Is it always substitution? Is it always reversal? Is it always omission of punctuation marks and so on? And then how many minutes did it take the student to read the passage? And how many, afterwards, after reading, there are comprehension questions. So you also ask, how many comprehension questions were correctly answered? The teacher may even follow it up with, what type of comprehension questions are usually not answered correctly? Okay. Yan. We compute the number of words correctly read. Mamaya magka-compute tayo. How many words are there in the passage? At ang passage naman nakalagay na doon kung ilang words. How many miscues did he commit? Number of words in the passage minus number of miscues over the number of words times 100%. So, it would be good kung meron ng table. Ito yung number of words, ito yung miscues, ito yung para hindi na magka-compute ang teacher. So, for example, I ask Carlo. Carlo is in grade 4. I ask him to read a passage in grade 4. The number of words in that passage is 65. And Carlo committed 15 miscues. So you have 65 minus 15 equals 50 over 65 times 100%. So, Carlo read 76.9%. Or ito yung kanyang score sa miscue analysis. So you have percentage of words correctly read is 76.9%. Mamaya natin malalaman kung passing si Carlo. Ang reading speed naman is computed by recording the number of words read and the reading time in seconds times 60. So, supposing there are 103 words in the passage, and supposing Carlo read the passage in 90 seconds or 1.5 minutes, 103 words read over 90 seconds, that means Carlo reads 69 words per minute. Okay. Comprehension is computed by getting the number of correct answers over the number of questions. If out of 7 questions, Carlo answered correctly 4, so 4 over 7 equals 57. So Carlo's comprehension skill is 57%.
Frustration.
Okay. So, how do you identify now, bago natin sagutin si Ma'am, is Carlo passing? We determine the reading level of Carlo. The level at which a learner can read and comprehend a level text or graded passage. At alam niyo yung terms na independent, instructional, and frustration level. Okay. Ma'am, tapusin ko lang to ha, bago mag-lunch. Independent level ng text means I can read this text on my own. Yun yung kaya ng batang outside of the school, nababasa niya yung text without anybody's help. Because it's the level at which a learner can read and comprehend a level text on his or her own. Walang help. Hindi sinasabi sa teacher, ano pong basa nito? Or hindi tinatanong ang nanay. The reader is familiar with most, if not all, of the words in the text. The pupil reads smoothly, fluently, and with expression. Kasi nga, alam na alam niyang basahin. The level of comprehension is also high. Although it does not always follow na kapag mabilis basahin, naiintindihan. Instructional level, ito yung sabi ng batang, I can read this text with my teacher's help. So yun usually yung texts or selections na binabasa natin sa klase. The level at which a learner can read and comprehend a level text with some guidance. Kaya sa lower grades, meron tayong phrase reading because we said the words that we anticipate are difficult to read, nakalagay na doon sa phrases. Para pag nasa lubong na ng bata sa selection, alam niya nang basahin. 90% of the words are familiar for the reader. She or he hesitates reading some words. The reader understands most of what is read. Frustration level, ito yung itatapon ng bata yung selection because sasabihin niyang, this is difficult. the level at which a learner experiences much difficulty in reading and comprehending a level text. Most words are unfamiliar, hence reading is choppy and there's a lot of hesitations. And reader rarely understands what he or she is reading. Kasi sabi nga natin kahapon, kung choppy ang reading, word by word, hindi naiintindihan ang selection. So look, word reading score in percent, comprehension score, and the oral reading level. So kapag ang word reading 97 to 100%, ang comprehension niya ay 80 to 100, independent ang reading level niya. 90 to 96 ang word reading, 59 to 79 ang comprehension, instructional level. So tingnan nyo, tinatanong nyo sa akin, si Carlo, 79 siya, frustration level siya. Frustration. Okay. So, yun yung score niya quantitatively. So, tingnan nyo si Carlo. Frustration level siya sa word reading, frustration level siya sa comprehension, at ang reading rate niya ay 69.5 per minute. Frustration level siya sa grade 4 material. Hahanapin natin kung saan siya instructional level. Okay, so what should the teacher do with pupils like Carlo? Remain after class. Meron ding qualitative. Habang nag-oral reading ang bata, titingnan ng teacher, may checklist siya sa behavior while reading. Does word by word reading. Lacks expression, reads in a monotonous tone. Ang mga palaka sa sapa ay nagkokokak. Sila ay parang napaka-flat yung tono. Voice is hardly audible. Siyempre, kung ayaw mong mapansin ng teacher na mali ang basa mo, ang boses mo ay hihinaan mo, di ba? Disregards punctuation, points to each word with his or her finger, employs little or no method of analysis. Kasi may ibang batang nagsiself-correct or nag-a-analyze ng word. Ito hindi. And the teacher writes other observations. Nanlalamig ang kamay ng bata habang pinapabasa ko dahil nininervyos. So, ito yung checklist na hawak ng teacher habang nagpapa-oral read.